Mark Davis with Local 7, and you can count me in.
Jamie Gonzalez, Local 1, you can count me in.
Jesse Gordon, Local 79, count me in. Michael Clancy, Local 1, you can count me in.
Matt Johnson, Local 1087, you can count me in.
Open shop is going down!
Open shop is going down! No peace! No peace! No peace!
Virgo, Local 580, iron worker.
Michelle Maldonado, Local 3, count me in!
There's Mike Piero with Local 1087, you can count me in.
Angela Bond, Local 46, count me in. Eddie Moran, Local 3, count me in.
Deion Young, Local 28, count me in.
Joe Niles, Local 79, count me in. Local 3, count us in. Ross Cali, Local 3, count me in. Count us all in. 1087, also Local 28, count us in.
My name is Mike Femia, I'm Local 3, and you can count me in!
Emmanuel Drayton, Local 18, you can count me in.
Rafael Nunez, District Council 9, count me in.
Dave Ruggiero, Local 3, count me in.
Dean Dillon, Local 28, you can count me in. Local 3, my name is Ida Fraser, count me in. My name is Oliver LeBon, Local 7 Marble, count me in.
Nick Garvey, Journeyman, Local 3, IBEW, count me in, brother.
My name is Stanley Goshitz, Local 78, KIBM.
How you doing? It's Alan Reed, Local 638. Count me in always, brothers. Brothers and sisters, this is us. This is all us.
Freddie McCoy, Local 1 elevator constructors, count me in.
Stephen Ross, he portrays himself as a philanthropist, a benevolent businessman, but you can't be that if you're destroying the middle class and trying to reduce wages. You're part of that 1% that is just trying to destroy the middle class. Count me in, baby.
Count me in! Count me in! Count me
My God, we've done so many things. We were doing against CIM. We were doing. We did really good against CIM. We made them go from an. We believe we had a lot to do with them going from an A rating with investors to an F rating through our route, through the background stuff we were doing with them. So we did a good job against CIM. 85 J Street. There's going to be coming a article coming out about that job site where CIM was and New Line and all the other bad actors, ECD. We'll get these people. It's going to take time.
You know what? I'd say one thing. I was one of the guys who first got, I was all stoked about Count Me In. And then when they kind of faded, we were looking for something. And then all of a sudden I heard like rumblings like, take it back was kind of this thing. And I have to admit, I've been to, I would say to be honest, about half of the stuff you've done. And I think you guys are really, you guys are like Count Me In, just a little, I would even say more organized and a little more to the point. But you guys are really, I find you guys really, really, it's exciting. I think you guys actually get a little more stuff done because you guys, they were just at one spot. You guys have been, I've been like maybe seven places with you guys. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And you guys got the stickers out quicker. You guys got the T-shirts out quicker. And that makes it different. Like when you show up to a rally and, you got stickers all over everybody and you got the T-shirts and everything. It makes a statement.
To me, Count Me In is the greatest movement in the history of New York.
Listen,
I was proud to be
it was good.
I was proud to be a part of it. I learned so much from being a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Take It Back is just a different direction, but Count Me In was amazing. And I learned so much from the leaders in that, Bernard, Mike Hellstrom, and being around all those people. They were amazing. Take It Back just is a different thing. We're going to continue sort of the idea of a movement in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
We want to go after all. We want to help all construction workers. We want to empower the workers in the construction field, like we say at all the rallies. And by empowering them, we're going to hope that they, the light, rise up against their companies, and give those companies no more workers to exploit, because we're going to.
So a little bit of background about you. How did you get where you are? What's your background in labor or organizing or anything of that nature?
I've been in the cement and concrete. I'm the director of organizing for the cement and concrete workers. I've been in for 23 years. I was a laborer for 13. Shop steward, always protecting my workers. Then the opportunity came up to organize, and they picked me. So through always a solid shop steward. So
you've been in organized labor over 23 years now, huh?
23 years. Yep.
Now, what do you see are the challenges facing us now that they weren't when you first got in?
The threat of non-union is tremendous compared to what it was when I was in. I mean, we had one of my first rallies, I believe, was Roy K. 23 years ago. That big one, it was like in June of '98, where we took the streets. There was 20,000 strong, but that was all there was Roy K. Now there's a million bad actors in New York City, and that's definitely a deterrent. I mean, it's hard. It's a lot of bad actors in there, but we'll get them.
Why do you think that happened? What do you think caused the change from where we are and the point that we had strength that we had to the point we are now, where there's so many bad actors able to come into what's supposed to be like a union town like New York?
Greed took over. The exploitation of workers has been allowed. Our mayor and our governor, they don't step up in these cases. When we do reach out to them, the last conversation I had with the office, Jane Thompson from Cuomo's office, she told me we get money back for workers. And I said to her, that's not the problem, getting back workers' money. That's part of it. Stopping the work before these people make their millions on the exploitation of workers is the goddamn problem. And if you come with us to job sites, let's stop this 2 weeks as it goes on, not after the job's over. Because after the job's over, they pay these workers, they pay their taxes to whatever it is, and it's all, I feel, at a reduced rate. I don't think they're giving these people what they're supposed to get in the first place. And that's where the problem came in. Greed took over, and they're allowed to take over. And everything is being overlooked. All the worker exploitation and wage fraud, and it's the safety violations. Everything in their sector is getting overlooked, and you have to look higher of why is it being overlooked. And, you know, I'm not going to...
You know, it seems that the budgets for certain things are tremendous, but if you notice the budgets for filling, you know, OSHA or the New York Buildings Department and all these things that, you know, you, like you said, you call, I'm from the Spectrum Strike. We used to call on them all the time, and either no one would show up, or it would take weeks and months and everything to happen. You could just tell, you can tell by the budget they give these people, you know, the safety inspectors, that it's not really a high priority. I mean, if you called and someone showed up the next day, and whether the people weren't supposed to be there or there was dangerous or safety issues, a lot of this would get nipped in the butt right away. But you call, and it's like it goes into oblivion.
Yep. 68 violations we called in on 85 J Street. They only got $5,000 in fines. Now you're talking about the organized on that
68 at one job?
Years experience.
You called on them 68 times on one job, and they only got, so 5,000. What was that? Just they got found guilty on one thing?
I guess so. I mean, I don't understand why, but you know, something's going on. That's how I feel, and we'll get to the bottom of it. We will keep fighting these companies, and we're going to cripple them. It's a 5-year plan right now. You know, it started.
Has to be.
Let's go with Take It Back, and we're going to continue. We're going to change the way the construction industry is run in New York City. We're going to keep fighting. They'll hear our voices. There's no way they can ignore us forever. They've already heard us. They know who Take It Back is. Cuomo's office knows who it is, but we're going to drill it through their head on exactly who we are and exactly what we want. We're going to get what we want. We want changes in construction. We're going to get it. I don't go out there for my health.
I would imagine you do not. So
I want this to last 1,000 years.
Now, do you think non-union?
I'm sorry.
My apologies. Do you think non-union's your biggest problem, or do you think it's the change from the mom and pop contractors to all of a sudden now you have billionaire investors who are, you know, like over on the west side? You know, You know, these guys are they're almost insulated because they're so rich and they put money in a project. If they almost feel like they're above the law.
That's what it is. They're above the law. You see, the non-union worker is no threat to us whatsoever. We can outwork them. I can strip a worker from the non-union sector. I'll strip 10 workers. I guarantee you, 9 of them won't make it. They can't last through our cycle, our 2-day cycle that we do in the concrete industry. They can't. You're making a certain amount of money. They expect work out of you. When you go to a non-union site, that you don't even hear noises outside the job site. It's such a quiet scene. They have such a lax way of working. I'll be on jobs where I see them work at such a slow pace where we would have blew them away. So I don't understand how they're possibly saving money. It's just union busting. That's all it is. They're not saving companies money. But the non-union worker is not a threat to us. It's the greedy developers that are a threat to us, and we're going to cripple them. We're going to keep exploiting the exploiters. We're going to let the whole world know what they are, and we're building critiques against them now. So we started with ECD. We have a critique on them. Now we have Highbury. We have a critique on them, and and then we'll have critiques on. I'm not going to release every single person we have critiques on, but that you see, you've been at the rallies. We have critiques on these companies. I'm going to bring the city of New York 10 critiques on 10 different companies. Now tell me there's not a problem. And you're going to lie to me and tell me there's not a problem. This is a pattern. If I keep going after one company, this is why I may take it back so broad. And I have such a great organizing team with me. I have some of the best organizers in New York City. My cement and concrete workers, I have 5 other organizers with me. They're amazing. It's constant. You'll be on the phone. They're always coming up with ideas. Everybody wants to win. We do this for the rank and file. We do this for our futures. I've said it a million times. It's our union, our futures. We can't keep saying, oh, my union, my union. It's our union and it's our futures. And once we have that train of thought, more people will come out to the streets to fight for the cause, to fight for their futures. First, funny, it's my mentality is when Spectrum threw their strike and I saw the leaflets out and I saw the news on the internet, I went to the Spectrum strike and had no idea what you were striking about.
I know.
But I went to support. And that's what union members have to go. You don't exactly have to know. You'll be informed once you get there. But get there. Your union needs you. We need the rank and file. Nobody ever lied and said we don't. We need the rank and file. Rank and file needs leadership. And if we work together, we're going to take back this city.
The problems that we have are not just from a couple of like a ragtag people that are just fly by overnight. The problems seem to be now structural and embedded into what's going on. Can you think of any laws that were put in place that help these bad actors get the foothold that they have right now in the city?
Well, I feel that it's a classic case of bid rigging because you can't, this is how I feel. This is just my opinion. This isn't, but every company works together. So you'll have ECD and Highbury together. So how is all the same companies getting the jobs? So how do they know how to go so much lower than our jobs? How do they know to still profit and go so much lower? There's something going on in the rigging in the bidding process that is hurting us, and they're strategically bidding where they know they're going to exploit the worker. They know they're going to commit wage fraud, and that's the problem. I hope that answers your question. I mean, I think it's the bidding process. I think they're accounting for how they're going to steal from the worker in their bids, and that's why we have
I apologize, like a collusion kind of thing where they know how. I know I'll bid on these jobs, you bid on these jobs, we'll come in right around here. Now, do you think that's between the contractors, or do you think they have someone, perhaps, you're not saying yes or no for sure, someone maybe in the office who is telling them this is the number you need to be?
I'm going to say it's a collective team doing this. I'm not an FBI agent. I'm an
obviously. I'm just asking for.
I wish I could open their books. I wish I could do some of the things to just prove this point of what we're saying, of payroll fraud and the other things you got to look over. Like, so when they don't pay taxes when they don't pay these workers, that's payroll tax fraud. Where's the arrest? Why is the slap on? Why is it always a slap
there you go.
Where's the arrest?
To me, it's like if they tell you you can only drive 55, but no, if you drive 100, you're only going to have to pay a $5 ticket. Are you really going to care? You say, I'll take my chances. And
That's
I
right.
think they realize the slap on the wrist is so weak. They say, you know what? I'll do it till I get caught. Because even if I get caught, what is it really going to cost me?
Right.
I mean, you're a $1 billion entity. You're a $1 billion entity. What's 50K, 100K? Nothing.
Nothing. No. That's what I
Yeah.
said. Come with
Uh,
me. That's what I told New York City. Come with me to the job sites for 2 weeks, not after the job's over. After the job's over, you're not helping. You're not
Of course
helping. You're getting the worker money back. That's great. We want to get the workers' money back. But how about if we just nipped it in the bud in the first week? You know, what if you allowed us to open their books quick? What if you
Now,
went actually did your jobs? I don't feel people are doing their jobs against these companies. I think it's union busting. That's what it is. It's just union busting. There's no way they're profiting as much as they think they're gonna when it takes so much longer than it would take us.
right.
You know, I
You know what it is now?
What?
Because interest rates are so low right now, they have loans that they can have people sit on the job, and the time is not as much as an issue to them. So they don't care how long it takes because they're paying nothing for these loans.
And they're paying nothing for the workers, and they're not paying they're not paying medical, they're not paying anything. They're just giving. But that being said, if you're going to take that much longer, it can't be as profitable as they think it's going to be when they get in there, and that's why they start committing wage fraud, and that's why they start exploiting workers, and that's when they start creating safety violations. Because as the job keeps going, they go, "Holy cow, I got to cut something." They're not going to cut their own profit, so who are they going to cut it from? They're going to cut it from the worker. The worker's scared. They have nowhere to run to. They could go to the Department of Labor. What's that going to do? You know, that's going to take years for them to get there. So they often find organizers like us, and then they'll tell us their story, and we're going to keep putting affidavits against these companies.
I think it's like Spectrum was willing to do. They're willing to pay more or even lose some if in the long term they can see themselves breaking the unions.
Mm-hmm. So this is
think about it. They get fined. Spectrum gets fined regularly. All money that they paid more in fines than they probably would have paid just to keep us on contract. But they would rather take the fines. So you're right. It's 100% union busted. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention how have you seen COVID-19 affect your industry?
Well, I think COVID-19 is. I think again we shined. The union shines. We built the. We abide by the rules. We are social distancing as best as you can. We handed out safety equipment to our workers. Well, I went to my team went to non-union sites. We are organized with other unions. We went to these job sites. We took pictures. We sent them into the 311-692 number about the social distancing. They weren't abiding by it. They were not abiding by the non-essential, essential jobs. They worked right through being non-essential. While we were sitting there building hospitals, within days we were putting these hospitals up. We were working 20 to put these up, and we were working safe. Once again, the union stepped up for New York City. So we showed COVID-19 was positive in the aspect of we showed again that we're the best of the best and that we care about the people and that we care about New York City. Where were the non-unions through COVID-19? I'd love to know because I couldn't find them except for when they were breaking the law on social distancing and breaking the law on essential and non-essential. And we're going to exploit all this stuff once we get back on the streets. We'll take it back.
Awesome. A quick thing, as you can see, I have a Local 3 hat. Do you have any affiliation with any? Like, I know you said you just put together a team of other unions and locals. Are you, by any chance, have anything going on with Local 3 currently?
I spoke to some of the organizers. I'm more engaged with some of the rank and file who are the activists of the rank and file.
Gotcha.
But like I said, take it back. We'll do it the way we got it, and we have an open door for anybody who wants to join. But
awesome.
Local 3, not part of Take It Back, but doors wide open.
Hopefully not yet. Hopefully soon to be. Hopefully soon to be.
We respect them as a union. We respect their leadership and rank and file. Doors wide open whenever they want to jump in.
All right. Last question I have for you. What is your agenda going forward?
To change the way the construction industry is run. We want to get no more worker exploitation, no more wage fraud, no more safety violations. We want to empower the non-union worker to rise up against their companies, to see the light. We'll help them as best as we can. We also have a plan right now to go into areas of lower income and empower them and let them know that there is options out here. And the day of racism right now that's going on and stuff, we want to show them that the unions hold no racism. I'm not saying individuals may not be racist. Our rates are not racist. Your opportunity in the union will never be racist. You're going to get paid no matter what. Black, white, brown,
100%.
woman, man. You're gonna get.
When you're a journeyman, you're a journeyman, right?
Yep. So you're going to, and we want to start teaching people this all over New York City. We have a big plan. Take It Back has a big plan to start getting into the low income areas and start telling them that there is a union opportunity, and we want you to take advantage of it. We have schools. We'll train you. That's
I apologize. When do you anticipate you guys getting back on the street?
July 29th seems day for the next rally.
Awesome. I appreciate that. And do you want to give a shout out to anybody?
Before I have 2 questions too as well.
Hold on. We'll let Troy go first. We'll let Troy go first. We'll save the shout outs for the last part, all right?
My man Big Daddy Kane, EPMD. I'm 45. Those are who I listen to.
There you go. There you go.
Half a Big Daddy.
It's the roll call.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to,
wait. Before you go to the shout outs, I had 2 questions I wanted to ask. One, the Count Me In rally, and we saw it building from just because from the outside looking in, we saw it building up and growing to like it looked like a movement where the people, you could see the enthusiasm of basically all the things that they felt for all the time that was going on in the construction industry. It felt like as a unit, you guys were finally coming together. The amount of energy that built up during that rally, during the movement, and then to see it come to an end. I know Take It Back is now an extension of that. But what did that feel like, and what did the guys express as far as having something like that put together that they can actually, like involve their emotions into?
Well, I know people were upset about 315 not happening, and they keep using that as an excuse. And 315 happened, and you may look at one day. I look at Count Me In as a whole. We did a lot of great things. The leadership there was phenomenal. There was a lot of, you're not going to win every single war, but we won a lot of battles along the way. And to hop on one day, to hop on any issue that you have, I don't buy it. Whatever your issue is, put it aside, because to dwell in the past is to die in the future. It doesn't matter what happened in the past. You move on and you go to your movements, you go to your campaigns that unions are doing, because you're a union member and it's for your future. So to me, I know that there was a little bit of low morale after the way Count Me In ended, but people have to look at the positives of Count Me In. We had 10,000 people in the streets. We harassed billionaires, and we made him think.
Think about it. They were so scared of you.
Yes.
I apologize. They were so scared of you that they said, listen, they capitulated, said, listen, we're going to just please don't do 315 and we'll work with you. And that's when you knew you had them. And I honestly, I never thought you could get to Ross, and he honestly capitulated. He did.
Yes. Without that movement, I can't do this movement. And so many leaders were grown through the Count Me In movement also. And, I'm one of them. I was an organizer, and I never was the forefront of, I was always the forefront of getting stuff done, but never the forefront of holding the microphone and going to the front of the room. I always gave my input. I always had to say I've done my job, for the last 11 years. I've been an organizer, but this grew a lot of leadership. A lot of women are coming through this now. If you see, we give the microphone. We want to empower our workers too. So if you ever see, I give the microphone to people that I'll let them all speak, because to me, everybody should have a voice. I want to filter out some of the things they say. I want to make sure that they don't stuff that's not right. But
listen,
when they grab that bullhorn, sometimes I don't want it back because they were so awesome that it's hard to follow.
And in every one of your rallies, I've seen people speaking Spanish, Italian. It really has been a coalition.
One thing you're going to notice too about the Take It Back rallies is we take the stage with non-union workers. So
yes,
to answer the question of why do we do that, and it's what I've said throughout this interview, is we're going to try to empower the non-union worker to rise up. We're going to show them their options. We're going to show them that they should not be scared anymore. The only reason they're sticking with their companies is because they're scared. They're being threatened. They're being exploited, and we're here for them, and we're going to continue to be here for them. And also, the last COVID was a lot of unions, if you notice, stepped up, and they're feeding the people in need, and that's big. I'd also love to know where the non-union sector is on that one, because we love doing it. You have to do it for the people. You have to help communities. Because don't go into these communities, and you make a lot of noise in these communities when you build buildings. The least you owe them is to come in there and help them in their time of need. And I'm so glad when I look on the internet and I see all these different unions helping during this pandemic. It shows once again why we're the classiest people and the most badass entity to have in New York City is the union trades. So, that was the last thing that I missed. That was what we were talking about before. But
So how do you see as far as the working people of the city, and combined with the unions, because the unions have the most structure and they have the most education going forward about laws and things that need to be put in place and changed to give it a step forward. How do you see now combining what's happening with the union and the workers involving themselves politically in order to get our agendas move forward?
we have, well, Take It Back has a lot of elected officials that are on board with us. If you've seen at the rallies, they all come. We're going to get more elected officials on board with us. I think that the non-union workers are seeing that they were not taken care of during this. Their safety was violated, and I think more are going to come on board. I think that our rank and file sees that Take It Back is truly real. We're doing everything as good as we can. We're trying to change the way construction industry works, and I think that they're going to come out more, even more. I mean, we had 1,000 on the street at times. I think they're going to come out even more. I think we've empowered a lot of people in the unions, and I think we're empowering a lot of people in the non-union sector. And I think that our elected officials are a tremendous help. We have some very strong elected officials. Of course, we have to get into Cuomo and de Blasio's office eventually, but we're a strong movement. We're a strong movement. We're for real. We have a lot of plans going forward. I'm not going to release everything today, but we have some good plans. We're really going to chase the money from the greedy developers, and we're going to try to cripple them. It's going to take time. It's going to take time. But
all right, Ray.
We're not going to fail. We're not going to be from a lack of effort. We're going to give all our effort we can.
Joe, what was I going to say? We would like to thank you for your support. And,
Oh, you was going to ask him about his shout-outs.
Oh, yeah, pardon me. My apologies. The shout-outs.
Shout out to all my bosses, all my business managers, my district council president. Shout out to all the unions that are involved in Take It Back. And shout out to all the rank and file that go out there and do the hard work and the impressive work that makes the unions work. Our union workers are the body of everything that we do. So, as long, I'm so proud to see that we are the best of the best, and nobody can beat union workers. So my total shout out is the rank and file to keep their support and keep up the hard work. We are doing this for you, and all we ask you to do is just come out to the rallies for yourselves.
But Joe, we'd like to thank you for the support. Any way we can lend a hand, we'd love to. This has been a very informative interview with Joe Scopo. Take It Back. I'm Ray. That is.
I'm Troy.
All right, and hopefully we'll see you at the rally. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.